For Sentinel.com, this is Ira Winderman with your latest Ask Ira, Miami Heat mailbag, and we pick up where we left off yesterday with our Heat half full or half empty debate. Our first question today comes from Jack in Fort Myers, who asks, you and many others question the Heat's lack of proven veterans on this roster. Yet the conundrum at the end of last season was even with All-Stars. The Heat were only 4 games above 500 at the All-Star break, and they were criticized as being slow, having no three-point threat, lack of ball movement, and a transition game. If that had continued, they would have fallen into the lottery. Now we're lamenting the losses of those players? Jack, it's a little bit different. I don't think anyone could view a team as being better, having lost Dwayne Wade, Luol Deng, and Joe Johnson, and possibly having to play an entire season without Chris Bosh. Just because you have different players doesn't necessarily mean you have better players. To me, this goes back to what Pat Riley's seeming blueprint has been, and that's getting more out of the young players. Players like Hassan Whiteside, Justice Winslow, Tyler Johnson, and Josh Richardson. If those players step up, I think the Heat can be better. But I wouldn't look at the journeyman players that this team has added in the offseason and saying those are difference makers. Right now, their careers simply haven't shown that. Our second question, continuing on the theme, comes from Daniel, who says, right now, I'm in the glass most empty camp. I think the Heat are about a 30-win team in a superstar-driven league. And if so, so be it. I'm a Heat fan for life. But Daniel continues, but I do wonder what options Pat Riley will have going forward. I think he's boxed in right now. Well, the options Pat Riley has going forward are pretty basic. It's what Erik Spoelstra can get out of the young players. Players like Hassan Whiteside, Justice Winslow, Tyler Johnson, and Josh Richardson. You can check so many boxes of what might happen, but you can't put Pat Riley in a position saying that it's all up to him to find a way out of this. It's really up to the players, and it's up to Erik Spoelstra. Although the upcoming draft is supposed to be very good, and the Heat probably will not have their first-round pick in the following year because of the Goran Dragic trade. So I think Pat Riley will have to say exactly what direction we will go in, which I think will be based on the team's early results. I'm not saying this is a tanking team, but this is a team that has to figure out its young players early in the season so it can make such decisions. And our last question comes from Stewart, who says, one of the biggest chess games for Erik Spoelstra and the Heat staff this coming season will be keeping Hassan Whiteside on the court. Whiteside changes the landscape on defense. Opponents will look to get Whiteside in early foul trouble. And this is similar to what I alluded to a day earlier as well. Hassan Whiteside's a focus now. Maybe for the first time. No Dwayne Wade, no Luol Deng, maybe no Chris Bosh this time to start the season. He's going to have to play smart and efficiently. So yes, you're right. Hassan has to watch out for fouls, but to his credit, he only averaged 4.5 per 48 minutes last season, one of the better numbers overall for NBA centers. So I think he can avoid that. But you're correct, Stewart. There will be so much more focus on Hassan to play well, to play the right way, to play smart. Those are today's 3 questions. We'll be back tomorrow with 3 more for Sentinel.com. I'm Ira Winderman.